Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and I am super excited because guess what's back? The Rivals of Ixalan storyline, or I should say the Ixalan storyline, the Rivals part, or whatever. Oh, and make sure you thank Wizards of the Coast for basically leaking the whole story. At the very least, the art book contained the ending, so that's awesome. I have an idea, maybe when you have an art book, make it full of art, and like, artist commentaries, not, oh, here's a reiteration of what happened in the story. Anyway, because usually the whole thing about these stories is like suspense and I want to see what happens next and I wonder what the resolution is. I can't wait for the mysteries to be revealed. Since that's normally what people are watching these videos for or reading the stories for, I think I'm just going to have to take them even less seriously than I did before because that all just went out the window. So might as well add some comedy. So get ready for the silliest and least accurate version of The Flood. That is the name of this chapter, by the way, in case you're like, what did you just say? So it starts with Kumena because he's a dick. He's the cliche hyper-aggressive military guy antagonist from every cartoon and cheap movie ever. And Avatar. He went to Tashana in the last story and was like, hey, let's use the immortal sun to protect the immortal sun. And Tashana's like, that's not how it works. So Kumena's running through the jungle, barely even using magic, just like straight up going for a jog. Oh, and Tashana's kind of pissed at him and kind of chasing him, so he doesn't want to use magic or it would give away his position immediately. Even though they can detect, like, any footstep of any animal or creature because they're, like, in tune with the soil. Yeah, it's not very consistent, is it? Good job, Wizards. And then they say he could feel it. He was nearing the golden city of Araska. Okay, no, that's not how that works. It's hidden by magic and nobody knows how to get there. So you can't just rage your way there by jogging. That's not a thing. Oh, and it also says that when he was nearing the golden city of Araska, the final resting place of the immortal sun, his rivals were behind him. They used the term rivals, guys. Roll credits. You know, they do say that the power of the Golden City is, like, feeling nearer, so maybe the fact that Jason Vraska already, like, found it, and then they activated it, started, like, rising up out of the ground and causing, like, earthquakes and waterfalls and crap, maybe the whole cloaking mechanism is turned off, and that's how Kumena's on his way there. But for the record, he was on his way there, allegedly as far as he thought, before that happened. So how he knew where he was going, I don't know. I don't remember. They probably said something about it in the last story, but whatever, who cares? So he finds Araska and kind of swims around until he finds basically the entrance, which is a giant staircase that leads up to some kind of temple thingy. Oh, and then the whole scene cut to like black and white, like slow motion with like a super close up of Kumena's face. And then they did like the internal monologue thing. And then all like melodramatic, he goes, who else had climbed this staircase in the last few hundred years? Had anyone? What was its original purpose? It's a staircase. It makes you go higher up in a place. That's what it was always for. Why was it built? No, not why. He knew why. Yeah, I just told him it's a staircase. It does one thing. They built it for this monument. For him to climb. No, they did not build it specifically for you to personally climb. Sorry. The stones beneath his feet rippled with power, but it was his own power reflecting back at him. Yeah, you might want to get that checked out then and maybe not use so much magic if it's reflecting back at you. Because, I mean, whenever you attack a Wobbuffet and they reflect it back at you or like a Mr. Mime or something, that never goes well, okay? Might want to check the magical energy coming out of your feet there. In fact, that honestly just seems like some kind of magically enchanted trap. I mean, I'm a big D&D player. I would walk up like the side instead of walking up the actual stairs. There's gotta be some kind of trap magic on it. And you know I gotta point out some quality writing, which apparently so did everybody else, which is why they're now marking it as like the author department or the Wizards writers or whatever the hell they put. They don't associate it with the actual author anymore, even though it's painfully obvious which person and which writing style wrote each one of these. But let's just read this verbatim. Gold. It really is made of gold. But gold did not interest him. Eyes watched him from the shadows, animals that made their homes in these strangely pristine ruins. They did not interest him either. But may I ask you, perhaps, Mr. Merfolk Guy, what about gold-plated animals? I feel like if on top of Araska they have one of those little like gold-plated like little waving cat things with they wave the paw at you that they got at the Chinese restaurants and also actually in China, I'd be interested in that. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going for the immortal sun, but this is going in my backpack. That is loot. I'm going to name the cat and put him outside my house, which, okay, merfolk don't really have houses. They don't believe in that kind of thing. Too disruptive to nature. Let's see, more crappy writing here. This is just, it's true because I said it's true level writing. Okay, he stepped into the Golden City. He could feel his power growing already. Why? From what? Why is his power growing? It is... Just why? Is Erasca magic? Does it supply you with mana just for being there? Is he close enough to the Immortal Sun that it's granting his power to him, which really is only supposed to work if you're defending it, not trying to steal it? Also, it's locked behind a door with Azor guarding it, so there's that. Oh, spoiler alert. Why would his power logically grow? Just because it suits the story and it sounds nice and it's suspenseful? Give me a logical scientific reason. So then he starts hearing voices, which he thinks are from the Immortal Sun. I have my doubts. They're like, oh, I want to be found. Come find me. That's some Shining crap right there. What next? Two twins in dresses are going to be like, come play with me forever. Yeah, don't do that. You got to be like, nah, sorry, you guys, I can't play with you. I got to go do adult stuff, like file my taxes. Bye-bye. Kids hate taxes. That is a fact. But he actually has the sense to like talk back to it. And he's like, who's there? How do you know me? And then they're just like, oh, yeah, I know you. Now we're old friends. Don't worry about it. Remember we ran into each other at Whole Foods and then you were like, oh man, I wish I had a coupon for this. And you're like, oh, I'm totally not using this coupon. And then you're like, oh, I'd save $5. By the way, if you shop at Whole Foods, get a life. You're part of the problem. Gluten is not going to kill you, idiot. So then he thinks he's seeing some faces on the statues are like moving, but not really, like only out of the corner of his eye. So clearly he got a little too winded on the jog here. So then he's like seeing faces in the reflections of the gold-plated everything in the city. And then he's like, no, seriously, who are you? And they're like, no, seriously, you know who I am. At which point I would be like pulling out my gun, like, you better start answering some crap or I'm going to start shooting some of these faces. I'll just answer my question with the riddle that I don't play that crap. He's actually getting kind of logical here because he's like, is this trickery or am I lost to madness? Yeah, I'd start questioning my sanity if Wall started talking to me with hallucinations of faces. More garbage writing. The faces were his as well. 1,000 tiny golden selves shining at him, eyes alight. What does that mean? Like literally, like that sounds all poetic and dramatic, but what is actually happening? Do they literally mean that by the way it was written, he's seeing reflections of his own face in the gold walls? Like, is that really what's happening, where the voice is pretending to be him, or is this some kind of internal poetic description that means nothing and it's just fluff in the story, which is how most of these are written. So I'm going to lean towards number 2 there. And then for no reason, the voice gets like super specific. It says, neither to the trickery or madness thing. There is power here, Kumena, the power that was intentionally designed, but also an additional inert power, a still pond, a mirror in darkness. It can do nothing. Okay, did I say specific? But seriously, it's like, no, it's like it was intentionally designed, but there's also a secondary power. And it's like, I thought they were about to like hand him a map or something. Then they go off the deep end and they're like, ooh, a mirror in darkness. Give me some literal instructions. Is it door number 1 or is it door number 2? Do we have to do hot or colder? Am I moving closer to it? Like, for God's sake, just show me where the damn thing is. Dude, at this point, I'd be like, tell me where the Immortal Sun is specifically, or I'm getting the hell out of here. Freaking voices in my head, wasting my time. Then Commander says some boring, clear, blatant foreshadowing crap about reflecting power, which is the second time they mentioned it, which is like shoving foreshadowing in your face. So then they're like, follow, and he's like, I am not playing with you right now. Who are you? And so finally it answers, I am the sun, Kumena, as you will be. Follow. Yeah, that sounds fun. I'm going to turn into a burning ball of gas. That sounds great. That's not a trap at all. I thought that like blue-green people were like super into like sensing illusions, traps, misleading stuff, mental magic, countering spells and abilities. Like that's what they do. Stupid, gigantic red creatures are the ones that are susceptible to mind control and have like a wisdom score of like -3 in D&D. So I don't know if you've seen the card art real closely, but basically the whole city is like 1, really big, and 2, basically a maze or labyrinth. And they're like, yeah, he doesn't know where the hell to go or where these voices and faces are leading him. But he's just like, yeah, all right. Whatever. Let's follow it, I guess. Got nothing better to do. Have you guys seen Leo from Frog Leap Studio, his version of Here Comes the Sun? It's a metal cover and it's freaking awesome, and you should stop watching this video immediately and go watch it. Even I'm going to stop recording it and go watch it. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I see. Okay, I'm back. What the hell is Kumana up to? Let's find out. So it just like it goes from, oh my gosh, it's a gigantic labyrinth. Oh my god, it's so huge. And Kumena approached the central tower, a gigantic temple. Okay, so he found his way through that maze pretty quick, but he was being guided by the weird faces, I guess. But still, it's like a really bad cut in a movie. It's like, come on. He goes walking for 1 second. Okay, we're here. So he can already sense that this is the source of the power, the immortal sun, which apparently is somehow giving him power just from proximity. I guess, maybe, who knows? I think I read that on a card or something. But guess what, everybody? He's met with a, quote, massive intricate door, its entrance marked with a great seal and a complex lock. Ha ha! Hope you brought your lock picks. By the way, somehow this has never come up in a video, but if you think I'm good at knife throwing, you should see me pick a lock. In one of my side jobs, it actually comes up. You'd be surprised. Oh wait, perhaps I should have finished this statement. So blah, 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 massive door, great seal, blah, blah. But on the other side, the side facing a large central plaza, it had a simple door leading to a simple staircase, the way to the top. What, you could just bust through the skylight? Why the hell have a giant door with a giant lock then? So literally Kumena's like, oh, that way looks easier. He just starts climbing up the stairs. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Up, up, and up, one finned foot in front of the other until he reached the top. He stepped into the chamber and beheld the immortal sun. What the hell's behind the door then? Hey, can you make a DC 1 perception check to see if this is a trap? Because this is a trap. He describes it as a dull glowing stone surrounded by gold and embedded in the floor. So that's interesting. Oh, look, that foreshadowing crap is back. So he's saying, oh, wow, that's weird that it's embedded in the floor. Really? What did you want it on, a pillow? I mean, come on, it's easy enough to steal already if this even is it. I have my doubts. I haven't read ahead, though. But this does make sense. It says the immortal sun looked like nothing more than a strange decoration in the floor, but it felt like a mirror, not a light. The light was his, which makes sense because the immortal sun tends to amplify your existing power. Because one of the examples was if the Sun Empire, a member of the Sun Empire, I should say, was able to control the immortal sun, they would be able to summon massive primal super titan dinosaurs. I mean, we're talking just gigantic beasts. But that's what they can do anyway. All it does is reflect and magnify your existing powers. It's not just like, look, I've got a big old tablet. It shoots laser beams. Cool. I'm not saying it doesn't also do that, but apparently it's more of a mirror. So because it's, embedded in the floor, he decides to just simply step on it. So that's cool. Also, from that exact spot with like the big windows and crap around, he can see the entire city. So it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense, I guess. So immediately he's like, oh, all that magic I knew before, wow, that seems like crap because now I feel like I can do this. Actually, he compares his shaping magic that he practiced in his entire life to children digging in the sand. Okay, children digging in the sand are first going to do a lot of damage. Second, they're going to get really damn dirty. And third, they're going to do a lot of damage. So that's maybe not the best comparison there, bro. So he's just sitting there like, haha, what a bunch of idiots, the River Heralds, for not, using this power. So he sensed his other rivals. Oh boy, there's that word again. Just kind of invading the city too, following him to the center spire because he's like, well, it's pretty easy for me to find this. So, all right. So he's like, you know what? Time for a magic show. So he made the city kind of rise up, which I believe this is then concurrent with like chapter 7 of the last story because Jason Vraska saw the city start to rise up and then a whole bunch of water and stuff and rivers like flood in and cause waterfalls and all that. So I guess that's what they were seeing and now he's the one doing it now. So this is actually back in time a little bit chronologically. So Kumena's all like, I'm super powerful now and he's bathed in golden light. So in other words, he went Super Saiyan. Oh, I mean Super Merfolk. Please see the artwork on Kumena's Awakening for a picture of this. So, well, he's like, ooh, I'm the most powerful. I'm giving myself an internal villain monologue, yes. He's like, oh, crap, somebody's hair. So he turns around, he's like, huh, great, vampire, awesome. And it's female vampire. I'm just going to take a wild guess. It's probably, Vona or one of them. I don't know. It's probably not Elaine Duck quite yet. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it is her. Anyway, he's like, oh, one conquistador is no match for me. So she literally goes over her shoulder and she's like, how about two? What do you say, Mavrin Fane? So the famous priest Mavrin is there too, I guess. Whatever. How did any of these people find it with its like mental cloaking capabilities or whatever? That it's impossible. It is impossible to find Vraska without the compass. That's the point. That's why the pirate Vraska had it. How did any of these people get there? I think maybe Tishana was forced to tell Kumana how to get there, vaguely where it was, but something about it was if you tried to walk there, the jungle would rearrange itself to route you away from it. So you had to already know that and be aware of it and still know what absolute direction to go instead of relative to the trees around you or something like that. It wasn't like a cloaking device, but it was you really couldn't just follow a jungle path and get there. And remember, the vampires and the merfolk did not know where the city was specifically. So, do you guys have any idea? Am I missing something from the last story? How did any of these people find this place and get into it? I'd love to hear an explanation for that. So apparently Kumana sucks at combat magic, which is kind of ironic, because one of them just rushes him and tackles him before he can do anything. Wow. So they, quote, scratched and bit him, and then one of their swords sliced a long line at his side. So he's doing great. Good use of your Super Saiyan powers, idiot. I love stories like this where they're just this is happening because I say it is, not because it's logical or believable. Yeah, Kumana's near infinite mana and amazing superpowers. Oh no, he just couldn't cast a spell quick enough while they were running at him, probably from 100 feet away. Are you kidding me? So he's trying to prevent them from biting his neck, obviously, because that would be bad. And they're like, you're funny, stupid fishy. And then, I kid you not, throws him out the window. Now, see, I take issue with the exact phrasing that the narrator used here. She gripped his flesh with unnatural strength, and before Kumana could react, because Kumana is literally the slowest person on planet Earth, or wherever the hell we are, she threw him out the window. So that's some Star Wars Chapter 6 level stuff there, but unnatural strength, have you met a vampire warrior? It's not that unnatural. It's actually pretty natural for them, actually. So Vona sticks her head out the window and kind of smiles at him while he falls down, which is hilarious, actually. So Kumenda managed to get 0 spells off except for making the city rise kind of a little bit for a couple seconds, and then got beat up by a bunch of vampires. And by a bunch, I mean 2. Wow, I'm glad you've been training at magic for your whole life, you useless pile of crap. Okay, this story is long as hell, apparently. We are a third of the way through it. And, this chapter, not even the story, just this chapter. Now they're going to Vraska's point of view. So as far as I'm concerned, different story. So I'm going to split this into 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6 videos. I don't know. I'm going to go full-blown Harry Potter, split it up into as many parts as I can. But seriously, though, this is way, 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 way longer than an average chapter. So watch for part B, I guess. I don't know what the hell I'm going to title this. But hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss it. It might be tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see you guys shortly.